Alright guys, welcome back to another Omnia video where we're going to be talking about Ardyn, who is going to be getting his rework, his C90, and his brand new FR weapon. Now, with the upcoming crevasse, we don't really know exactly how the banners are going to look because the previous banner without the air and his FR release was changed with Garland being on it instead of Gobez. Many of us are going to assume that Gobez is going to be with the crevasse banner alongside with Ardyn and possibly Sephiroth, since the original banner had Ardyn, Sephiroth, and Garland. So we're gonna see what's gonna be happening with the upcoming banners. So do note that the banners might be a little bit different compared to what we originally got in the JP side. But in this video, we're gonna be talking about Ardyn and we're gonna be talking about Sephiroth as well, since I've already talked about Gobez in my previous video when I talked about him without the air. So if you want to check my opinions on that, you are more than welcome to do so. But we're gonna be focusing on the other two characters. So do let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be for the upcoming banners, whatever it is that they are. If you're going to be pulling for them, skipping them, whatever it is that you're going to do let me know down in the comment section below. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we'll first look at his rework. So his skill 1 gains 3 uses. It resets the target's break status, then deals 3 HP attacks that recovers 20% brave in between HP attacks. His follow-up increases Brave gain to 30% of max Brave, then deals 2 HP attacks that recovers 30% Brave after each HP attack. His skill 2 also gains 3 uses, and deals 2 HP attacks that recovers 20% Brave after each HP attack. His LD resets all targets' break status, then deals a single target HP attack 4 times with 50% splash damage after each HP attack. His overkill buff now adds a 30% brave damage up, now totaling 50%. Now with his C90, his EX increases the recast gauge speed by 15%. It deals 2 HP attacks that recovers 20% brave in between attacks. It extends active buffs by 1 turn. The Plus version deals 3 HP attacks and recovers 50% brave in between HP attacks, and then the Plus version deals 4 HP attacks and does the similar brave recovery as the Plus version. His C65 is a 4-hit brave plus an HP attack that resets the target's break status after the HP attack. His C65 got extended to 4 turns, and it now adds a 20% attack up and a 30% brave damage cap up. With Leon as his partner, Ardyn FR deals a 6-hit AoE Brave plus an AoE HP attack 3 times that deals split HP damage and resets all targets' break status after each HP attack. While active, it makes the enemies recover from break faster. His FR conditions are as follows: a 20% increase whenever a party member except for Ardyn inflicts break, a 40% increase whenever Ardyn inflicts break at the end of turn, a 20% increase whenever the party member except for Ardyn selects a melee ability, and a 30% increase whenever Ardyn selects a melee ability. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, since we don't know exactly what's going to be going on with the banners and whatnot, we're going to go ahead and still talk about Ardyn and Sephiroth. And again, if you want to listen to my thoughts and opinions on Gobez, please go check out my About the Air FR video. So we'll start off with Sephiroth. I mean, Sephiroth is not going to be getting anything with this upcoming banner, if he is going to be appearing on the banner. But he is. There is a few things to note about Sephiroth, because like Sephiroth, he's definitely a damage dealer. Like he definitely has HP, like a very good amount of HP attacks within his skill 1, skill 2, his ZX, and his LD. But like his skill 1 and skill 2, even though they do deal single target damage with splash and whatnot, like it's still a pretty good amount of hits. So with Sephiroth, he does have a lot of high HP attacks. Now when it comes to his BT effect, even though his BT effect is short, it does work very well with breakers, which is why he was on the banner with Ardyn, because like with his BT effect, aside from like the little party auras that he does provide, the one big thing about him is that he makes it so that the enemy's brave will be at 1 on every turn. So that way it'll be so much easier for for anybody to pretty much break them, and especially if you're going to be relying on Ardyn's FR or any character that does rely on some type of breakage to help them with their FR conditions, then Sephiroth is actually a pretty good character in terms of utility and taking advantage of that. Like, one character that comes to mind that is going to be coming up very soon to global is Dorgon, because every single time that Dorgon breaks an enemy, then he is going to trigger a follow-up attack. Right? And especially if he does break a character while he is countering, then he actually triggers that once again. So it's actually a pretty neat mechanic with Dorgon. So, you know, Sephiroth alongside with him would be like, a reason to actually go for his kit if you don't already have it. Now, he is a selfish DPS. I mean, aside from like the 3 party auras that he provides with his BT effect, I mean, he is solely, you know, there for himself, and he's just there to just straight up deal damage, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, pair him up with a good support, especially like good supporters that have brave gains for the party will help him in increasing his HP damage. So overall, though, like Sephiroth, you can definitely make him work, but compared to a lot of like the characters that we have had recently, you know, in terms of like DPS wise, like Tifa, Renoa characters that are going to be coming up later down the line. I mean, like Sephiroth, it's an option. It's not like a top tier option compared to like Tifa or Renoa, but like he's kind of like an option where he can deal damage for sure. He does have a pretty unique utility within his BT effect. It's just really depending if either he's like a favorite of yours, or like if you want to play around with Sephiroth, then I would say Sephiroth, you know, he's an option. He's definitely an option. He's not necessarily like you need to get him or anything like that, but like he's definitely an option, and a pretty good option in my opinion. Now, when it comes to Ardyn, with the rework that he got, with his brand new FR and all that good stuff, like Ardyn definitely came out of the woodworks, and now he's back up to being a very strong selfish DPS unit, which, I mean, that's pretty much what he is. You know, his BT effect, it's not really all that in my opinion. I mean, like, it definitely could be better, and hopefully later down the line with Square doing BT reworks and whatnot, hopefully they can actually make his BT much better. But like his BT effect focuses on Brave regen, increasing the party's max Brave up. It does have party HP damage up and party HP damage cap up, excuse me. So I mean, that's nice, but like, you know, other than that, like, it doesn't really have like the usual like BT effect auras that other BT effects would have. So like, it had something, but you know, it definitely could use an improvement, and especially as we progress through the Shinryu era and then going into the FR Echo era and whatnot, you know, like his BT effect will definitely need a rework pretty soon. So when it comes to Ardyn in general, though, like, he is a rebreaker. Pretty much all of his skills, except for his skill 2, is able to re-break the enemy in some way, sort of fashion, which, you know, will benefit him, especially with his FR and whatnot. And it also gives you some turn control, so that way the enemies can get pushed back. Also, the thing with Ardyn to note is that whenever he does break the enemy, and it's not a back-to-back thing, unless you use like his C65, then, you know, that's a different story. But like, whenever he does re-break an enemy, he does get a free turn afterwards. So one thing to note about that. His FR is definitely mostly for himself. Like, I mean, like, yeah, you can have other characters and whatnot that can possibly benefit from the conditions with his FR, but his FR is definitely solely for him and him alone. So it's definitely best like to pair Ardyn with either an off-turn damage dealer like Core, Kane, you know, just Yang, any other like off-turn damage dealers would work very well with Ardyn, because Ardyn, like, if you're going to be using Ardyn, he's going to be your sole DPS for the fight. And like I said, off-turners, support characters with Brave gains, so that way like his initial HP attacks and whatnot will be the high, or will be at its maximum output in terms of the HP damage and whatnot. Would definitely help Ardyn out overall in general. So like Ardyn, in my opinion, like I pulled for his FR, and I even pulled for his BT because I didn't have him before. I even pitied his BT. That's how much I wanted him, only because like I have played Final Fantasy 15 and I know his backstory and whatnot. But aside from that though, like overall though, Ardyn, I do think he is a very solid character. I do think that his that overall though, if you do decide to pull for his FR, again, his FR is definitely more so for him. So don't, I would say do not really build a team to try to meet his FR conditions. Just build a team around Ardyn, so that way Ardyn can definitely do his thing whenever you go into BT phase and whatnot. But like overall though, I do think he's a very solid character in terms of like DPS and whatnot. You know, he's not a Tifa or Renault or anything like that, but you know, Ardyn, he is an option. He is a very good option in my opinion. I definitely got my uses out of Ardyn. But you know, if you're trying to save up for like characters that are coming up later down the line, or if you feel comfortable enough with like, let's say Tifa or Noah, and I know I keep bringing them up, but I mean like that's what more than likely everybody's going to be comparing to in terms of like DPS numbers and whatnot. It's going to be those two, so that's why I'm bringing them up. But like overall though, Ardyn, very solid choice. In my opinion, if you want to play around with a character, Ardyn is definitely a very good one to have in your roster of characters. So, but other than that though, guys, that's pretty much it. I think I pretty much covered everything with these two characters. We'll see how the banners are going to look whenever they do drop into the game. So, yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.